I have studied cults. I have studied spiritual spiritual traditions that have lasted thousands of years. There have been cults and movements that have lasted hundreds of years. I've studied these things not because I want to be part of it. I've studied to see what keeps people from falling out of it. Now, many times they're fearing their life, right? Like in certain countries, you know, they're not going to leave the country because they fear their life. Like some countries nearby were like that until the dictator is no longer with us. So we don't know what's going to happen. I'm talking about Cuba, right? You couldn't just leave like you can leave the United States. But what happens if you have the freedom of choice and the free will to leave a course? What can you do to keep people engaged? Because they're getting hit with all these other opportunities and all these other courses, all these other how-to and emails and the offers that come into their inbox, right? So the first step one of the 3-step process, if you do these 3 steps, you will eliminate, probably in my experience, probably for you, but you will eliminate the majority of people who will stop and lose interest. They will continue with you. Even if they don't complete the whole thing, they will go through most of your course, which is what you want, because they're more likely to buy again. They don't feel the shame and the guilt of the people who dropped out early, who paid for it and don't ever want to show their faces again. They feel bad. They got left behind. So the first step is to develop your own language or vocabulary, which is what vocab stands for. Now, to develop your own language means something like Alexisms. I have a whole book on it. I have my own language, right? Why? Because if you have your own language, then that automatically separates you from everyone else. Alcoholics Anonymous has its own language. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they have their own language, both in their native tongue, right? Also within the religion. Spirituality, many of them have their own language. Like many times I'll see someone telling me love and light. That's how they sign off to me. I know they've gone through a certain training when I see love and light, comma, and then their name. That's a language. Are you with me? So first you develop your own language in your course. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. Next, you develop your own community or culture. Now, think about it. A person who's left jail will come in and go into weekly meetings from people who are ex-felons, and they're all meeting together, and they're saying, hey, man, it's really hard to be out here. Being free is not so easy. And their parole officer is listening. In a recovery meeting, there's a recovery meeting, literally, with people in the meeting talking about what their experience has been like that day to stay sober or that week. So they have their own language. They have a lot of learning materials that really have language that is just theirs. Let's say the 12 steps, right? The 10 commandments is the language of Christianity, right? And other religions as well. But it's its own language. And then you need the community where that language is being spoken. And I'll tell you what you do for an online course in a moment. And then the third step is you need to develop your own role model or leaders. You got to have leaders who speak the language, who lead the community, and are kind of ambassadors to everyone else. Now, what does this look like with an online course? So I make it concrete. A glossary of terms. Your course should have a glossary of terms. I did it with teleseminar secrets. I did it with virtual book tour secrets. I did it with stick strategy secrets. I did it with push button influence. I've done it with productivity secrets, if I already mentioned that. I did it with repurposing secrets and every other secrets course you can think of. Hangout marketing secrets, membership site secrets, all of them. I have a lot of secrets courses, right? Conversion secrets coming up this year. I'll have our own glossary of terms. Why? Because that's the language I want people to learn. With Ultimate Internet Bootcamp and Ultimate Membership Site Seminar, very profitable brand that Harvecker and I created. And we had the 2.0 versions. Some of you who are watching here have gone through that. We had our own glossary of terms. Why? Because it separates us from everyone else, and it makes it easier not to backslide, or recidivism doesn't get in the way. Facebook groups. Now, Mark Zuckerberg has made it super simple to get into a group. Now, when I was starting with Teleseminar Secrets and many of the other courses, we didn't have Facebook. Facebook wasn't even in existence. And Zuckerberg wasn't even at Harvard. But we did have groups. We would meet every Friday and we would have these question and answer sessions that at the time, my employee, Stu McLaren, who's now doing big things. He has his own product line. He was with Tracy Childers with Wishlist Member, membership site platform. And now he's doing his own thing. And he's done a lot of stuff with some very well-known JV partners that I have. And all of that happened on Fridays where there was Q&A. And that was our community. I would teach Teleseminar Secrets on Monday. And then by Friday, people had tons of questions and they would show up, and Stu, and in the early days, I would do it. And that was our community because we didn't have Facebook. But now we got Facebook. So we have a private Facebook group that we always want people to come back and ask questions, like a help desk. So you got the glossary of terms that will actually be in the Facebook community and the members area. And you have the Facebook group for people to interact. Now, the course faculty, not just the chief instructor. Why not have a course faculty like a university has a faculty? Because that way you have sponsors, you have ambassadors. Nations have ambassadors. Recovery programs have sponsors. And what do? They protect the course or the nation or the program. Are you with me? So new language or vocabulary, new community or culture. You're building a new culture, really. We called them teleseminarians during the teleseminar years, okay? And third, you need new role models and leaders, not just one, but more than one, so it becomes a big deal. Are you with me? That's a very profound principle to avoid recidivism. The 3 steps to avoid backsliding or recidivism. Hey, it's Alex again, and thanks for watching this video. Now make sure to get that very special gift I promised you. I want you to grab your mobile phone and text the keyword you see on your screen, and text it to this phone number, 415-980-3555, and make sure you stick around for another video coming up.